Okay, all right, okay. So today, what we're going to do, at least in this video, if my window shows up, there we go. We're going to essentially learn more about widgets. So a widget is the slider input that we saw on the last class. Let me give you an example. I think we did height. We called it height. I rushed through that one. This from Echo. The input that we interacted with was the little slider. Okay, another one that we interacted with, let me do points. I added something to that one. I'm going to stop this one. Okay, I'm going to play this. Okay, boom. And here you can see I have an input here in terms of the slider, but also have an input in terms of the mean. I can turn this to 56. And you can see the mean has now shifted. So there's multiple widgets. And what I mean by widgets, capacities for the user to actually communicate with the server. And so we're only going to do one shiny today, at least in this video. And it's imperative that you go to the right one first. Yeah, I did. I went to the right one first. For you to know that there are a lot that exist. So this is our traditional widget gallery. Okay, there's something that we didn't get to discuss is action buttons. You can actually have a button within your shiny. You have checkbox, multiple checkboxes, date, date range. You can input a file and have it be saved somewhere in the server, somewhere in the cloud. You can have a numeric output. You saw me struggle with that. The radio buttons, select box, slider, two-sided slider, and text. And so this has been, I've seen this for the last, since 2013, maybe 15, I think, and all these different outputs that are, at least all these different widgets that are possible. What it's also important for you to be cognizant of is that, I say the date because we're in 2025 and there has to be other ways for us to create widgets. And so this is a URL to a GitHub page and discuss various widgets that are out there. Okay, yeah, they have now on and off. Wow, that looks so neat. You have different choices, you know, A through D. Okay, select all. Actual dates selected. This will look it looks fancier than this actual date range. This is nice, but this is, you know, fancy. You can specify the color, so on and so forth. I'm pretty sure. Okay, you can specify the actual information on the slider, whereas this is like numeric. Okay, it can only be numeric. I'm pretty certain. I remember running into that issue. So that's cool. So that is widgets. Okay, so let's look at a few other widgets. Okay, I think that's fine. Let's see what the data is. What is my data set going to be? My data set is going to be generated data. So I'm just going to call this generated data app. Generated data app. I'm going to now create this app, new file, app.r. Stop this, okay. And let's break it up. Let me talk about the input real fast. The UI and what we see here in this code. So what we see here, scroll up, move me. All right, I have a slider input, so there's nothing new here. Select input, this is new. So this is a drop-down menu. So I'm able to select. So this is what's being communicated back to the server. This information is being stored into dist. Okay, the label, what the actual user sees, it says the distribution. Okay, I'm gonna make it more specific. I'll say select distribution. Okay. And then here, this is a little new. So the user sees normal, uniform, exponential, but what's being stored within dist is norm, unif, and exp. Okay, that's being stored into dist. And that's how that functionality works. So this is a vector of a value pair situation there. You have checkbox. We did see this just last time in terms of true and false regarding the table or not. This is going to display the summary or not. We have a new title. Okay, we have a title. Did I do something? I did do something. Okay, I think this definitely shouldn't be there. I don't know why it's there. And then we have the text input, so you can actually specify the title of the plot. So that's new, and also specifying the date. Okay, so let's pick a date. And then whatever date you select is going to be stored in date. Whatever title you type is going to be stored in title. Whatever summary is going to be stored in show summary. Same thing regards to the number of points. So that is the different widgets that we were experiencing in this Shiny. So then now we are ready to at least have access to our server. Okay, that's going to be doing the generation of data. Copy. And then paste. So then here, this is the data that's being reactive because it changes based off of whatever the user uses. And so based off of the information, if it's norm, if it's unique or exp, you remember the switch function, we're able to now do that. This displays the information as a histogram. Okay. This displays the information which is then stored into hist. Sorry. Same thing regarding to rendering, creating the summary and then storing it into summary. And then this is specifying just the date, just to be funny. So something fun about our positron is the capacity to do autosave, so that we don't have this. And if I were to run this, it's going to tell me that it doesn't exist, right? Oh, it does work. It auto saved, but that's nice. You can also press autosave here so that I can do it as well. All right. So if I were to make this wide, I now have access to this, the Shiny. Okay. Let's say we pick my birthday. All right. April 8th. That's the date we picked. Okay. Show summary. Don't show summary. Normal. Uniform. Let's make it a lot of values. Uniform. And we can make it exponential. Skewed right. Great. Plot. Okay. Okay. And all that information is stored within the variables up here, but then whenever you see the input $, that's where the information is going to then be displayed. Okay. Well, in terms of the video, that is it. There's a lot of widgets out there. Just know that, be aware of that, and